Hey Jays Nation, it's Toronto Sports Cube bringing you my first video on the Toronto Blue Jays starting off the 2015 season campaign. They start off in New York on the road and with Hutch pitching. With lots of hype around this team this season, I expect big things from them. Hutch comes out and he's pretty dominant. He only gives up the one big blow and they win 6-1. In the second game of the series, Dickey, we lose 3-4. Dickey starts on the mound. We play a very, very good game, but things don't turn out in the end. We're up 3-1 coming into the 8th inning, and bullpen blows it. What happens is Luke comes in and he lets a couple guys get on. Brett Cecil comes in and he hits the tying run to get home, which is really bad. You don't hit the guy to get tying run home, especially with the bases loaded. And then they get a double play ball, which would have ended the inning, going into the 9th inning with potentially being able to still win the game. And the ball, Brett Cecil swipes the ball and it goes off his wrist and into the outfield and take the lead, and they eventually win the game 4-3. Dickey pitched a pretty good game there, though. Gotta give him credit. He's trying to slow down his knuckleball, trying to get more strikes in the zone, but he's still walking a few guys. Coming into the game, I was worried because Josh Tolley's not catching him anymore. And last time someone didn't catch Dickey, and it wasn't Josh Tolley, with JP Arancibia. He didn't do too well, and JP Arancibia ended up not hitting well. Maybe that was because Dickey put too much stress on him. But yeah, Russell Martin seemed to do fine. He missed a couple balls, but that's understandable, not any big ones. Things that I thought was weird when he was catching Dickey is he's keeping his leg down the whole time, even with base runners in scoring position. But he's a pretty athletic guy, so I expect him to, or I think he'll get it done. And then Norris takes the mound in the third game of the series, and they end up winning 6-3. He surprisingly pitched pretty well, considering that he has never pitched over Class AA. He pitched like he belonged in the big leagues, and he proved that in spring training, and for the most part he dominated in New York Yankees. Well, maybe not dominated, but went 6 innings, and the only time where he really struggled is where he let up a couple home runs in the 6th inning, but that was good. And then we go to the Baltimore Orioles series, where Mark Burley takes the mound in their home opener. We end up winning the game 12-5. There's big offense outpour this game. Batista ends up getting his first hit of the season, which I was a little bit worried that he was putting too much pressure on himself. And then he ends up getting 3 hits that game too. Burley pitched pretty well. It was also his 200th career win for him, so congratulations, man. I'm proud of you. Hope you can get maybe like 225 this season. Fingers crossed. And then go to the game tonight, and Sanchez makes his first start as a starter. First batter of the game, he lets up a home run. He if he doesn't do well this season, I don't think the Blue Jays will make the playoffs. All 5 starting pitchers will have to show up. and the bullpen will have to do a little bit better job too. But he wore Strom's glove in the first inning, which I think is um, shows a lot of respect to him. Him and Stroman are like best buds kind of thing. He wears glove when his glove has height doesn't measure um, thing on his glove on the side. But Sanchez, he had really good stuff tonight. His two-seam fastball or whatever stone sinker, whatever he calls it, had a lot of movement, which really surprising. Um, he movement was good, but if you're moving the ball and you're not keeping the ball low in the zone, you're getting hit. And he let up a couple home runs in the first inning, and we just couldn't come back from it. We end up also letting up a grand slam in the game, which was horrible. And Jimenez, or however you pronounce his name, Hubal Jimenez, yeah, sounds right. Um, he was dominant. He was like his 2012 self, where he was probably one of the most dominant pitchers in the MLB. He was keeping Blue Jays off balance the whole entire game long. He was throwing like a two-seam type fastball that cut right back into the plate. He was striking out guys. He let up like one hit, and that was the Jose Reyes that just dropped shallow. Um, but there wasn't much positives out of the game. The only really positive that I could really come out of the game was Liam Hendricks, another guy in the bullpen, did really well. He faced 6 batters and he retired 6 batters, which is really good with Blue Jays, with their probably their weakest part of the game um, being their bullpen, which will be their biggest struggle this year. Will be their bullpen. Which, if their bullpen's not good this year, they, they have probably one of the most potent lineups in the MLB, 1 to 5. But how much can 1 to 5 do if your bullpen's gonna blow it? Also, what really surprised me is how good Castro and Osuna are. Well, maybe not so much surprising me, because considering their spring training was so good, they both had like whips that were under like 1.5, and one of them had a whip going under 1 or something, a good way through it. And I don't know. Saunders is DHing in AAA, and I expect he will be up in a couple weeks. And I was kind of wondering what's gonna happen with him, because or who's actually gonna be sent down when he comes up, because obviously he's gonna be playing. Um, I think Pompey, if he doesn't get his hitting together, he will be the one. Which, if you asked me this before the season started, and spring training started, I probably would have said Pilar would have been sent down, hands down. But Pompey's hitting 143 right now, and I don't know, if Pompey doesn't start hitting, I think that he's going to be the one that gets sent down for Saunders. Pilar's hitting 295, and he's doing really great. That went down after tonight. He was hitting like 350 coming into tonight, but this is also very early on in the season. Lots can happen in the next couple weeks. Blue Jays are 3-2. Their starting pitching's looking very good. Batista is struggling at the plate a little bit, except for the first game in Baltimore, where they uproared and they're hitting. Another guy I think is struggling, but also this is early season, is the catcher, Canadian. We all know who his name is. He's struggling a little bit. He's hitting like 150, and Russell Martin, he's hitting a little bit low. But yeah, one thing I really think the Blue Jays need is a closer, and either they might. There's a guy in the market who's a closer, which is decent, but how much is he gonna ask for? Um, I don't know if you could really trade for a guy. Um, but yeah, they're gonna have to do something if Brett Cecil is not the closer anymore. I don't think you can really have a closer as a young guy and expect to go into the playoffs. But yep, I will come back after the uh, Orioles series. This was just recapping after the first five starts and how the pitchers are doing. They did, in my opinion, the first four games they did very well starting pitching. I thought that we should have won the second New York game where we blew it in the final. Diggy pitched a very good game. Hutchinson takes their mound tomorrow in the third game of the series. And then we're at home for the home opener. And this is Toronto Sports Coop signing off.